de la Rosa.
While you were living with your boyfriend and his mother and your boyfriend's brother, what type of telephone did you have?
Me and my boyfriend shared a phone. Cell phone.
It was a cell phone?
Yes.
And so you and your boyfriend used the same phone?
Yes.
And whose name was the phone under? Who paid the bill?
His mother, Patricia.
So it would have been under Patricia de la Rosa?
Yes.
Did you have your name listed in a plan somehow?
Not at the time.
And was it a shared plan, or did you just all use the same phone number?
It was a shared plan.
And so there was one plan with different phone numbers?
Yes.
And then you and your boyfriend had the same phone number?
Yes. We shared a phone at the time.
Now, back in December of 2009, did you have a Craigslist ad?
Yes.
What was that for?
For babysitting, I used to do babysitting.
Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about, in case anybody's not familiar with how Craigslist works, tell us about how you place that ad.
Basically, you just sign up with your email and your phone number, and you can put ads for stuff for sale, from cars to like computers, anything that you're not using you can place for sale. It also has a section for babysitting, pets. It's just like a community website where you can buy things and get services from. So I signed up for that and placed the ad for babysitting.
And generally, what did your ad say about babysitting?
Basically said that I babysit, that I'm available anytime, any days, and that's about it. My number for contact.
And how old are you today?
21.
And so about how old were you in December of 2009?
I think I had just turned 18.
So back during that time, around December 21st of 2009, did you receive a phone call in response to that ad?
Yes.
And when you received that phone call, did the person identify themselves to you?
Yes.
And how did the person identify themselves?
As Elizabeth?
And so you talked to someone named Elizabeth?
Yes.
Did Elizabeth tell you her last name?
No.
And when you talked to Elizabeth on the phone on that day, what conversation did you have with her?
She basically said that she needed a babysitter for the following day so she can look for work because she had just moved here. Or not here. She had just moved to San Antonio.
And did she tell you at the time where she had moved from?
No.
And so did you agree to babysit the next day?
Yes, I did.
Where was it that she wanted you to babysit?
The Homegate studio?
And is that also in San Antonio, Texas?
Yes.
So did you end up then going to the Homegate?
Yes.
And how did you get there?
I got there on the bus. The
Did you
city
go-
bus.
Did you go by yourself?
No, my boyfriend went with me
Okay, and why did he go with you?
because I didn't know how to take the bus and he did. So he went all the way with me to show me how to get there.
And that's very nice.
Yeah.
When you got to the Homegate Hotel, did your boyfriend go with you inside the hotel?
No, he stayed on the bus and went back around.
As you're sitting here today, do you recall what room number you met with Elizabeth?
I don't recall the room number.
Do you recall talking to some police officers back in December 2009 and January of 2010?
Yes,
And if you had told them the room number was 150, would that be correct?
that would be correct. I just don't remember now.
And do you remember approximately what time of day it was that you arrived at the hotel?
It was between 11:30 and 12 p.m.
During the time period after you had talked to Elizabeth on the phone and before you arrived at the hotel, did you have any communication with her?
Yes.
And what type of communication did you have with her?
We were texting back and forth while I was on my way there.
And what were you texting about?
I was basically just telling her that I was running late and why the bus was running late.
And then eventually you arrived at the home gate and you went into room 150 without your boyfriend.
Yes.
What happened when you met Elizabeth?
She was kind of mad because I was late.
And when you say she was mad at you because you were late, how did you know she was mad?
It's obvious by someone's facial expressions and a tone of voice.
And after you talked to her first, what conversation did you have after you talked about being late?
She told me to come in and then she showed me around more or less the hotel room.
Did she give you instructions on taking care of Gabriel?
Yeah, she told me that he would be hungry and within the next hour, so I should feed him.
And did she show you around where you could find the food and all those things?
Yes.
And then I assume she left at some point.
Yes.
How long were you together with her before she left?
Not even 2 minutes, I would say.
And where was Gabriel when you entered the room?
I don't remember. I don't remember exactly where he was. I don't want to say one thing and then that's not true.
Okay. But he was in the room?
He was in the room, yes.
And he was safe
Mm-hmm.
in the room?
Yes.
Is that
yes?
yes?
Press hard.
And so you took care of Gabriel. How long did you take care of him?
About 2 to 2.5 hours, no longer than that.
And what types of things did you and Gabriel do?
I fed him, played with him, held him, was talking to him, which he didn't understand, obviously. That's pretty much it.
And while you were there with Gabriel, did you have any communication with Elizabeth?
Yes.
And what type of communication did you have with her?
She basically texted me and apologized for being short.
And did she ask how the baby was?
Yes.
At some point in time, did Elizabeth return to the hotel?
Yes.
Now, during your entire time with her, did she ever give you her last name?
No.
And did she ever tell you where she was from?
I believe when she came back, she told me she was from Arizona.
During the time after she came back, did she pay you for your services?
Yes.
How much did she pay you?
$40.
And did you happen to see where she got the money from or how much money she had with her?
She got it from her wallet, but I didn't see anything. I didn't look inside.
And while you were there in the hotel with Elizabeth, did you hear her, did you see her meet with anybody else?
No.
Did you ever hear her talk to anybody else?
On the phone, yes.
And when she talked on the phone, what type of phone was she on? Was she on the hotel phone, a cell phone,
Cell
or
phone?
something else?
I believe it was a cell phone.
Cell phone.
Yes.
Did she make the call or did she receive it?
She received the call.
And did you hear the conversation?
I didn't hear the conversation. No, I didn't. I just heard someone on the other line, someone from the other side yelling. I can hear him yelling through the phone.
Okay, so you could hear yelling. Do you know if that was a male or female voice you heard?
A female voice.
Now, after that, did Elizabeth tell you what that conversation was about?
She told me it was her grandmother getting mad at her because her baby's father wanted to know where they were at. And her grandmother was basically in the middle and she didn't know if she should tell him or not.
And then did Elizabeth tell you any more information about the baby's father?
No, all she told me was that they were in a custody battle.
And did she tell you any further information about the custody battle?
No.
After this conversation, how much time did you spend with Elizabeth after she returned, after you watched Gabriel?
Maybe 5 minutes.
After this conversation, did you make any agreements with her about future babysitting?
No agreements. All I told her was that if she ever needed me to call me.
And did she ever call you again?
No.
At some point in time, were you contacted by the police?
Yes.
And prior to the police contacting you personally, did you learn that the police had contacted your family, your boyfriend?
Yes.
And were you present when the police contacted your family and your boyfriend?
No, I wasn't.
And at some point in time, you said you had contact with the police. Did you ever contact the police on your own?
I had called the news station. I don't think it was the police, but it was the news station because I had seen the picture of him, of Gabriel.
So you contacted the news station because you saw the picture of Gabriel. Where
Yes.
did you see that?
On Fox 29 News, I believe.
Was that before you had contact from the police or after?
Before.
So you saw his picture and you contacted the news media.
Yes.
Did you actually talk to anybody?
No, they had me on hold for a while, so I just hung up.
You may.
Analise, I'm going to show you what's been marked as exhibit number 28. Do you recognize some photos in that exhibit?
Yes.
And what do you recognize those photos as?
Me telling her what time the bus was coming.
Okay. Are those the text messages you talked about before?
Yes.
And this name here, Analise, is that you?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Thank you. Cross-examinations?
No question, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, does the jury have any questions for Ms. Urias before we let her go? Doesn't look like it. May this witness be excused, Ms. Andrews?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Victor?
Yes, Judge.
You may step down. Thank you. Watch your step going down, and the state may call its next witness. Ms. Ramuno, you may proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Chavez, would you please introduce yourself to the jury?
Okay. My name is Luis Chavez. I am a Mexican-born individual. I came to the United States in 1981. I became a citizen of the United States in 1996. Actually, at this time, I'm working at Tornado Bus Company in San Antonio. I'm the assistant manager in that office. I guess that's what I can say about myself.
And Mr. Chavez, the Tornado Bus Company, does your wife work there as well?
She's my manager.
Okay.
I am her assistant.
All right. And were you working there back in December of 2009?
Yes, I was there
How long have you been working for the Tornado Bus Company?
for 18 years.
Now, on that date, was your grandson working as well?
Yes, he started working with the company 4 years ago.
Okay. And what is his name?
His name is David Lopez. We call him David.
Okay. And about how old was he back at that time?
18 years old.
All right. Now, in December of 2009, do you recall specifically working on the date of December 27th, 2009?
Yes, I was working there.
And at that time, did a young lady come in and purchase a bus ticket from your company?
Yes, she was, but I wasn't there at that moment.
You did not sell her the ticket yourself, is that correct?
No, I didn't.
Your grandson did?
Yes, he
And
did.
is there a reason why he handled that ticket with her?
Excuse me?
Is there a reason why he sold her the ticket as opposed to somebody else?
Well, he had another co-worker named Gabino Gonzalez. He was there when he sees an Anglo. He refuses to sell ticket because he doesn't know what I might ask him, and he is not going to have the right answer. So he turned to my grandson.
Okay. And what was the other employee's name? Can you say his last name again?
Gabino Gonzalez?
Gavino Gonzalez. Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, does he speak English?
Not at all.
Okay. Does your grandson?
He does.
All right.
He was born in San Antonio.
Okay. So your grandson handled that transaction because of his
Yeah, most of the
English
times.
skills. Okay. And tell us a little bit about the Tornado Bus Company. Where is it located in San Antonio?
Okay, this company was founded back in the 80s, like 81 or so, by members of my wife's family, just with one van in that time.
Okay.
The two brothers who was driving the van all the way from Houston, Texas to Matehuala, San Luis Potosí.
Houston, Texas to?
Houston, Texas.
To?
Yes.
To where?
To
where?
Matehuala, San Luis Potosí, Mexico. And it's been growing, I guess I can say, rapidly. In those times, they were acquiring more and more vans, just like 14 in I guess in 2 years' time, they got like 14 vans. And then the regulations changed that they didn't want to have vans, so they start acquiring buses, used buses.
Okay. And what road is it located on?
In San Antonio, we are located on Highway 35, 7914 Highway 35.
And what type of population does your bus company typically service?
Yeah, mostly Hispanic people.
And you mentioned earlier that one of the employees refuses to work with Anglos. What does Anglo mean?
Excuse me?
What does Anglo mean?
For us, means we say white people.
Okay. And so primarily then the clientele that you service are Spanish-speaking clientele?
Yes, most of the time.
Okay. So
Well, still, we serve all kinds of persons. Doesn't matter the color at all.
now at some point, actually, may I approach the exhibit here, Your Honor?
You may.
At some point, did the FBI or the police come to your company?
Yeah, they came over the next day when when this person from the FBI, it was Mr. Flores who came.
Okay, Special Agent Flores?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and when Special Agent Flores came, did he come with another special agent as well?
I remember him. That was Hector. I don't remember.
Special
his-
Agent Morales? Does that sound
I
familiar?
just don't remember the last name.
Okay, his first name was Hector?
Yes.
And when they came, did they show you a photograph of a woman?
They had a pamphlet on her hands, the colored pamphlet that showed me the woman.
All right.
In a
And
car.
when you saw the photograph of that woman, did you recognize her?
Yeah, because they were asking for that girl, and I recognized it immediately.
Okay. And how did you recognize her?
Well, it's something easily to remember because of the Hispanic people. We see so many that we might not remember what about the Hispanic people might have come. But if it is an Anglo, we might remember easily.
Okay. And did you recognize her from being in the bus depot? Did you see her at the bus depot?
I saw her when I came to the office.
Okay. When you came to the office that morning, that's when you saw her?
Yes.
Okay. And did the special agents ask you to look up her ticket and the roster of the passengers on the bus that day?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And were you able to locate the ticket that had been sold to that woman and her name on the roster?
Oh, it was not a difficult task because we kept a record for every day and kept it for 5 years. So it was just one day ahead. So
And did you give them that information?
yeah, they requested to keep a copy of the original ticket.
And are
And,
those records that you always keep as part of your business?
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing you what's marked as Exhibit 132. Do you recognize that document?
Of course.
And what is that?
That's a copy of the ticket we sold to Elizabeth Jones.
Okay. And you said that it was sold to somebody by the name of Elizabeth Jones?
Yeah, that's what she said.
All right. And I'm showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 133. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, I do.
And what is that document?
That is the record that we keep for the passengers we sell in handwriting.
And does that document contain a record of the ticket that was sold to an Elizabeth Jones?
Yes.
The state moves to enter into evidence Exhibit 132 or 133 at this time.
Any objection?
No objection.
Exhibits 132 and 133 are admitted.
Permission to publish, Your Honor?
You may.
Mr. Chavez, I've already shown this to you. This is Exhibit 132. And is this the ticket that was sold that day to the woman in the photograph that you saw?
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to be able to explain to the jury what these different things mean on the ticket since they're written in Spanish. Okay?
Yes.
The first line, what does this mean?
Name.
Okay, and underneath here is something printed. Is that printed by a computer?
Well, it is because of the problems with the computers that the printers don't go exactly where they should be, but under nombre, which means name, should be the name of the passenger.
Okay, and here it states Elizabeth Jones.
Yes.
Okay, and then this word here, what does that?
Destination.
Destination, and
Yeah.
does this line refer to what the destination of this ticket was?
Yes.
Okay, and that is San Antonio, Texas to Fort Lauderdale, Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then the next line, what does this mean?
Date.
Date, and this word here?
That's the ticket.
Okay.
Ticket number.
Ticket, and then this number here is the ticket number?
Yeah, which is at the bottom part.
Which is here as well.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's 266022?
Yes.
And then this here, what does this mean?
That's the date when it was sold.
Okay? Okay, and that's 12/27 of 2009?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then there's another word here that you can't really read.
Well, it's that is not in those times, and it's still well. Right now, it is a little different because we have changed the software. In that time, it's supposed to be who made the ticket, but when we never did.
Okay, so it just contains a date?
Yeah,
Instead
that's the
of-
date. That's the same line as the date when the ticket was made.
Okay. And then the next line here, what does this mean?
Well, when it says under the ticket, it is still part of the same line
Okay,
as a
so
second
this,
line.
this word here, corrida,
Yeah,
is supposed to be part of
yes,
this line
it's
up
part
here?
of that
Okay.
line.
And what does corrida mean?
That route.
That route? Okay.
Yes,
And is
route.
that a route number that's listed
Yeah,
there?
just like in planes when they call it flight, that would be ours.
Okay. And this would be 930A?
938.
All right. And then the next word, what is that word?
After 9:30.
Yes.
That's the time. That's hour.
Okay, the hour, is that the hour that the,
At 12 noon. And connection at 187B.
and a connection at 187B, is that the location where the connection takes place?
No, that's another route that they start in Houston, Texas.
Okay, so 187B refers to the route that
Connects
would
to
be
the route 187B
in Houston.
in Houston.
Okay, and at that hour is at 7 p.m.
7 p.m., which is almost most of the times is at that time.
Okay. All right, and then the next line here, what does this mean?
That's the price
Okay.
she paid. And on the written part, which is over the price, belongs to the upper.
This here?
Yeah, that belongs to the upper.
That belongs to the line previous?
Yeah,
Okay, and what does that line mean?
that is the seat.
The seat number?
Seat number 21.
Seat number 21, and
That
then
was
does
on the
this,
San Antonio bus, and then the connection seat on the 21 on the road or 187B.
okay, the Houston connection?
Yes,
Okay.
she was getting the same seat.
Okay, and then I believe you've already talked about this, but this is the price that
Yeah,
was paid
the
for the
price
ticket?
goes for the price.
$180?
Yes, ma'am.
And then this here you said is the list of passengers?
Yes,
All right, and on this list of passengers up here, does this indicate this December 27th of 2009?
yes.
Okay, and is it listed by ticket number
Ticket numbers?
as well as name,
Yes,
destination,
yes.
and the cost?
And the
of ticket?
cost, the price.
Okay, and here at the entry that's indicating ticket number 266022, that is for Elizabeth Jones
Yes, ma'am.
to Fort Lauderdale, Florida
Yes,
for $180.
yes, ma'am.
Now, was the bus delayed that day?
It was delayed 1 hour.
Okay. And so the bus was supposed to leave at noon?
That's what we always say to our customers, because sometimes it gets around that time. In fact, people get there 1 hour in advance at 11.
Okay. And what time did the bus actually leave that day, if you remember?
Around 1,
Around 1 o'clock?
yes.
And the person that you identified in the photograph, do you see her in the courtroom here today?
Let's see. Yeah, yes. It's the pink blouse.
And I believe you pointed in that direction?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, would the record please reflect this witness has identified the defendant?
Just so reflect.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Thank you, cross-examination.
Morning, Mr. Chavez. How are you today?
I am fine, thank you, sir.
What time did you arrive, if you recall, at the Tornado bus station on that day, the 27th of December, 2009?
Around 11.
Around 11? Is that what time your shift normally begins?
No, well, I don't have a time to get to work. Since I am the assistant manager and then my wife is a manager, we come whenever we can because we have some other things to do.
And the woman who you just identified, wearing the blouse at the table,
Yes.
named Elizabeth, do you know what time she arrived at the bus station that day?
Well, later on when we asked the two persons who who were managing the selling of the ticket, they said that she arrived around 10.
Around 10 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
And who was it who gave that information?
Who was my son, David,
Your son,
my grandson.
your grandson, the one who speaks English.
Yes.
He deals with the English speakers when they come in to buy the ticket.
Yeah, on the telephone and in person.
So then the information that you have is that this woman, Elizabeth, arrived at the Tornado bus station on the 27th of December, 2009, about 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, and what time did she buy the ticket, if you know? Was that also around 10?
That's what they said, that they saw the ticket around that time.
10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then would it be accurate to say that she likely arrived at the bus station on that day about 10 o'clock in the
Yes.
morning and then bought the ticket on that day about 10 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, sir.
And the bus was scheduled to leave about noon,
About 12 noon.
and it actually left about an hour late.
Yes, sir.
And did something call your attention to Elizabeth while she was at the bus station?
I just didn't want to say, but the beauty. She was there and just called my attention that she was so calm.
Okay, so a couple things. First, you noticed that she was attractive, right?
Yes.
And that's why you sort of took note when you saw her.
I guess I can say yes.
I don't blame you for that. So you noticed that she was attractive, and so you looked at her and you noticed her, and you remember that on that day, right?
Yes, sir.
Was she sitting with anybody?
No.
There was no baby?
She was sitting alone.
She was alone, right?
Yes.
And there was no baby, right?
No baby.
If there had been a baby, you would have noticed that next to her, right?
Yes, I would.
And then you saw her sitting, was it on a bench?
It was a couch. It's a couch that we have there.
A couch?
Couch
Okay, and she was sitting there by herself.
by herself.
Was she reading anything?
No,
Was she doing anything in particular other than just sitting there?
no, it was just calm.
And did you think that was-
Speaking with no one.
Speaking with no one. Did you think that was a little strange?
It is sometimes, but not so much. Because there are people who don't want to speak with anybody. Sometimes there are people who gets there to speak with them, and people don't like them. So I guess understandable. She
Okay.
doesn't want to speak.
And then did you see her board the bus? And that would have been maybe somewhere between 12:30 and 1?
Around 1,
About 1 o'clock.
yes.
And did you actually witness her board the bus
From inside.
from inside?
Because they will have very wide windows to look at at the bus when it's parked at the front.
So then you were able to observe her from 11 o'clock when you arrived till about 1 o'clock when she got on the bus. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did she ever leave the Tornado bus station at any time?
No,
Did she ever have a baby with her at any time?
no,
And then she got on the bus without a baby, right?
yes,
And then the bus drove away.
yes,
right?
sir.
Can I have a moment, Judge?
You may.
No further questions, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you, sir.
redirect?
Very briefly. Mr. Chavez, did the passengers know that the bus was going to be late that day?
We are always telling them how far or how late it is, just like more or less because we didn't have any GPS or some sort of those things that at this time we have.
Okay, so you as the employees of the bus station knew that the bus was going to be arriving late that day, is that correct?
Yes,
And you told the passengers that?
yes.
I have no further questions, thank you.
Thank you. Does the jury have any questions for Mr. Chavez before we let him go? We do have a question, so sit tight. Mr. Chavez, I'm going to ask you a question, but really the jury's asking you, so if you could give them
Okay.
the answer.
Yes.
Here's the question. How was the ticket paid for? Cash, check, credit card, or some other way?
At this moment, I can say it was cash because we didn't accept any other kind of payments.
Any follow-up, Mr. Ramuno?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Any follow-up, Mr. Victor?
No, Judge. Thank you.
Any other questions from the jury? Doesn't look like it. May this witness be excused, Ms. Ramuno?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Victor?
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Chavez, you may step down. Thank you.